There's a saying that goes, "You're only as old as you feel." But let's be honest, some days our bones might have a different opinion, don't they? Maybe you've noticed a little more stiffness when you get out of bed in the morning, or perhaps bending down to pick something up doesn't feel quite as easy as it used to. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. As we get older, our bones naturally lose some of their strength. But here's the good news. It's never too late to give them the love and care they deserve. That's exactly what we're going to talk about today. How to keep your bones strong and sturdy, even after 70. Osteoporosis, or brittle bones, doesn't have to be an inevitable part of aging. In fact, with a few simple habits, you can protect your bones and stay active, independent, and full of life for years to come. Now, I know what you might be thinking, but I've never been one for complicated diets or intense workouts. Don't worry, none of what we'll cover today requires a gym membership or a complete lifestyle overhaul. These are small, practical steps that fit right into your daily routine. And the best part? They really work. So, let's start with the first and perhaps most important way to keep your bones strong: getting the right nutrients. You've probably heard that calcium is good for bones, and that's absolutely true. But it's not just about drinking more milk, though that can help. Foods like leafy greens, almonds, and even fortified cereals are great sources of calcium. And here's a little secret. Calcium works best when it has a partner, vitamin D. Without enough vitamin D, your body can't absorb calcium properly, no matter how much you consume. Now, where do you get vitamin D? Well, sunlight is one of the easiest ways. Just 10 to 15 minutes outside a few times a week can make a big difference. Of course, if you live somewhere with long winters or don't get outside much, a vitamin D supplement might be worth considering. But always check with your doctor first. They can help you figure out the right amount for you. Another key player in bone health is protein. Some folks think protein is only for bodybuilders, but our bones are actually made up of about 50% protein. As we age, getting enough protein helps maintain bone density and muscle strength, which in turn keeps us steadier on our feet. Eggs, beans, fish, and lean meats are all great options. And if you're not a big meat eater, things like Greek yogurt or lentils can do the trick. Now, let's move on to the second way to protect your bones: staying active. I know, exercise might not sound like the most exciting topic, but hear me out. You don't have to run a long race or lift heavy weights to strengthen your bones. In fact, some of the best exercises for bone health are gentle, low-impact movements that you might already enjoy. Walking is a fantastic place to start. It's simple, it's free, and it gets you outside in the fresh air. Aim for at least 30 minutes a day. You can even break it up into shorter walks if that's easier. Then there's strength training, which sounds intimidating but doesn't have to be. Lifting light dumbbells or even using resistance bands a few times a week can work wonders for your bones. And if you're not sure where to start, there are plenty of beginner-friendly videos online or gentle classes at your local community center. The key is consistency. Even a little movement every day adds up over time. Think of it like depositing money into a savings account. The more you put in now, the more you'll have to rely on later. Now, before we move on to the next few tips, let's take a quick pause. Because I want you to remember this. Small changes really do make a big difference. Maybe today you decide to add a handful of almonds to your snack for some extra calcium, or you take a short walk around the block after dinner. Those little choices, they're the building blocks of stronger bones. Before we proceed, please take a moment to subscribe to our channel. Thank you. You know, sometimes the best way to build something strong is to stop tearing it down. Think of it like a house. If you keep removing bricks, no matter how many new ones you add, the structure won't hold up. Our bones work the same way. That's why, in addition to giving them the right nutrients and movement, we also need to avoid the things that weaken them. Let's start with one of the biggest culprits: Smoking. Now, if you're a smoker, I'm not here to lecture you. You've probably heard it all before. But here's something you may not know. Smoking doesn't just hurt your lungs. It actually drains calcium from your bones, making them more fragile over time. It's never too late to quit. Even if you've smoked for decades, your bones can start to recover once you stop. If you've been thinking about cutting back or quitting, this might be the little nudge you need. Then there's alcohol. Now, a glass of wine with dinner now and then isn't going to hurt you. In fact, some studies even say a little red wine might have benefits. But too much alcohol interferes with your body's ability to absorb calcium and vitamin D. If you enjoy a drink, try keeping it to one a day, and maybe pair it with a calcium-rich snack like cheese or yogurt. Balance is key. Another sneaky bone-weakening habit? Too much salt. That's right, your favorite soups, snacks, and even restaurant meals can be loaded with sodium, which causes your body to lose calcium through urine. You don't have to give up flavor, though. Try seasoning your food with herbs and spices instead of salt. And when you're shopping, check labels for lower sodium options. Small swaps like these can add up to stronger bones over time. Now, let's talk about something that might surprise you. Fall prevention. Because here's the thing, even if your bones are in great shape, a bad fall can still cause a fracture. And as we get older, falls become riskier. But the good news is, there's a lot you can do to stay steady on your feet. Start with your home. Are there loose rugs, cluttered walkways, or poor lighting in hallways? Those are all trip hazards waiting to happen. A few simple fixes, like adding nightlights, securing rugs with non-slip pads, or keeping frequently used items within easy reach, can make a big difference. Then there's your footwear. Those old slippers with the worn-out soles? They might feel comfortable, but they're not doing your balance any favors. Opt for shoes with good support and non-slip soles, even indoors. And if you've noticed your balance isn't what it used to be, consider trying some gentle balance exercises. Standing on one foot while holding onto a chair for support, or walking heel to toe across the room can help you stay steadier. Now, let's move on to something that doesn't get talked about enough: stress and bone health. You might be wondering, what does stress have to do with my bones? Well, more than you'd think. When we're stressed, our bodies produce cortisol, a hormone that over time can weaken bones. Plus, stress often leads to poor sleep, less movement, and even unhealthy eating habits, all of which take a toll. So what can you do? Find small ways to relax. Maybe it's sitting outside with a cup of tea, listening to music you love, or even just taking slow, deep breaths when you feel tense. If you've ever enjoyed hobbies like gardening, knitting, or fishing, those can be great ways to unwind too. The goal isn't to eliminate stress completely, that's impossible, but to give your body and mind moments of calm. And here's a bonus tip: laughter is good for your bones. Seriously. Laughing reduces stress hormones and releases endorphins, which help keep your whole body, including your bones, healthier. So don't feel guilty about watching that funny show or sharing a joke with friends. It's not just fun. It's part of staying strong. Now, I want you to take a moment and think, which of these habits might be affecting your bones without you realizing it? Maybe it's that extra pinch of salt, or those slippery floors, or even just not taking time to relax. Whatever it is, know that you're not alone. And more importantly, you can start making small changes today. Because here's the truth. Strong bones aren't just about what you add to your life. They're also about what you let go of. And when you combine these steps with the ones we talked about earlier, getting the right nutrients, staying active, you're giving your bones the best possible chance to stay healthy for years to come. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please take a moment to do so and like our content. You know, there's something truly remarkable about the human body. It's never too late to start caring for it. Whether you're 70, 80, or beyond, your bones are still listening. still responding to the love you give them. And that brings us to the final and perhaps most overlooked way to keep your bones strong: staying socially connected. Now you might be thinking, what does chatting with friends have to do with my bones? Well, more than you'd expect. See, loneliness and isolation don't just weigh on the mind, they can take a physical toll too. When we're socially active, we're more likely to move our bodies, whether it's meeting a friend for a walk, dancing at a family gathering, or even just puttering around the kitchen to make a meal for loved ones. That movement, as we've talked about, is key for bone strength. But beyond that, connection gives us a reason to take care of ourselves. It's harder to skip that morning stretch or forget our vitamins when someone's counting on us to show up as our healthiest selves. So if you've been feeling a little disconnected lately, here's your invitation to reach out. Call an old friend you haven't spoken to in a while. Join a book club or a gardening group. Even volunteering a few hours a week can give you a sense of purpose and get you out of the house. And if getting around is harder these days, technology can be a wonderful bridge. Video calls, online classes, or even simple phone chats keep those connections alive. Your bones and your heart will thank you for it. We've covered 5 simple but powerful ways to protect your bones. None of these steps require drastic changes. They're small, everyday choices that weave together into a safety net for your bones. Maybe today you add a spinach omelet to your breakfast for calcium. Next week, you might clear those loose cords from the hallway. Or perhaps you'll call your granddaughter and promise to take a walk together next Sunday. However you start, what matters is that you start. Because here's the truth: osteoporosis isn't an inevitable part of aging. It's not a switch that flips the moment you turn 70. It's a gradual process. And that means you have the power to slow it down, stop it, or even reverse some of it. Every bite of nutrient-rich food, every step you take, every moment you spend laughing with someone you love, it all adds up. As we conclude our discussion, I want to leave you with this thought: your bones are your foundation. They let you hug your grandchildren, tend your garden, travel to new places, or simply enjoy a quiet morning with a good book. And with the care you've learned today, that foundation can stay strong for all the years ahead. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Which of these tips resonated most? Have you tried any of them before? Or maybe you have your own secret for staying active and independent? Share your thoughts in the comments. Your story could inspire someone else on their journey to stronger bones. If this video helped you, don't forget to like and subscribe for more tips on living your best life after 70.